Hello and welcome to another Maplestory 2 video, and today we are gonna be reviewing the State of Game Week 3 producer blog. So it's been released. It's not much of a change. I think this focus more about for those that are into UGC. The Designer shop changes has been being covered up in this blog for this week. There's been a lot of theft and people copying and stealing UGCs, etc. So right now they are trying to focus on that, protecting the creators and making sure that there's no violations going on, and they're pretty much gonna be more strict and obviously try to make things right. So hopefully all the designers out there is gonna feel a little bit more safe now, that they shouldn't be afraid of sharing their creations, etc., and that it actually goes to the right person with the merits, because we all know there are a lot of people out there that would like to steal and try to make money out of your own creations. So going through the main objective, it says we support great designers with creative mindset with better exposure and better revenue share structure. Wish they did this a bit earlier and tried to test this out, so that no other harms and loss in revenue would happen to them, because hopefully we'll see some people getting some shares back from what they lost before. Let's see. We protect original creations from other players copying their design. We provide shoppers with a better experience, focus on high quality and more creative designs. We protect shop from content which explicitly violates the terms of service, especially sexually suggestive, obscene, copyright and trademark designs. We ensure review of designs are based off clear guidelines to avoid applying different standards to different designs. And the thought of the process, they are reviewing the current design. Notice a few issues. Because of the cost of registering items on the shop is free for the first one and only slowly rising with additional listing. Because we are refunding full listing fee, the design submission are removed from the design shop. We have seen players blatantly copying another player's design or uploading the content, which clearly violates the terms of service without any risk of losing merits. So that's a big change. Considering that it was free before and people could just buy and then resell it, that's how I think it works. I always feel like it should be like the system of what we have in hard dungeons. Like, it's tradable once, and then once you got the item, it's not tradable anymore, or it's not even sellable anymore. I wonder what was in their mind when this happened, when you could still resell or use that skin. Maybe it's the same like that, but I think maybe some people are stealing the design, the template. Maybe, I don't know how it works, but yeah, I just wish they could restrict the items for not being used once you bought it from someone else. So this was hurting the shop in many ways. Design style from other creators were thrown into shop with minimal risk. The shop became overloaded with design that clearly violates terms of service against due to lack of consequences. I haven't seen really a lot of things happening. Like, I haven't seen people getting that debuff ban or whatever you should call it, that they violated the terms of service, and they haven't been thrown into Alicar prison. But yeah. Because of the large number of low effort designs copying another creators and offensive designs submitted by bad actors, many wonderful original creators became buried in the shop. Yeah. So you either continue to try to sell, or you pretty much stop doing things, because people are just gonna steal, and then so they tweaked the fee structure to provide higher upside for the great content creators while being filtering out design being submitted by bad actors. I'm not into UGC myself. I hope this will fix a lot of the issues for those that are content creators out there. I hope this is a good news for you. So for the changes for the Chaos Week, or when they release Chaos Raid, they are going to have listing, registration fee, to 490 merits as a flat increase. Creators will now get 75% cut from the sales and the sign shop up from 70. Okay, so it's 5% more. Registration period will increase from 30 days to 90 days. So that's really nice that it's up for a little bit longer. Not sure how they are still gonna be, preventing people that are stealing, but yeah. Designs submitted in bad faith with a clear intention to copy another creator's original work or violate the terms of service would not be refunded, including both the listing fee and template costs. This will apply to ad walls as well. So if I got this correctly, if you do become, or if someone has reported you for stealing, etc., back then you would get your merits back because you obviously did not want to lose. Well, it was kind of treating them as normal players, that they will refund the merits and then the item would not be used. So right now, if you are stealing and you've been caught and you've been reported, they are not going to refund the merits back that you tried to sell or listed to the design shop. So yeah, I think that's a good way to punish them, but at the same time, I do wish we could see some kind of other ban or temporary ban, for example, due to people are violating the rules and obviously ripping off people's designs. So just taking away their money, I feel like they could have sold, for example, let's say 5 items of someone that they stole, and then they won't be on the next time, the 6th item, they're not going to get refunded. They're still making a profit out of it, in my opinion. But I don't know how the ban system works or how how the punishment is, but it's still meh, I would say. But I don't know. I'm not something that you should go to and have a conversation with when it comes to UGC. Yeah, so this will ensure that original creators have potential to succeed in the shop, also by providing a 19-day registration period with a greater cut for designer. I hope to see more meaningful creations and fewer items overload in the store. Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously, if you see something that's like 2 of the same, then you obviously know that someone has stolen, unless they actually made something for themselves. But it's most likely that people have been stealing the creations by having the same item except a different name. So I hope there are some GMs out there that are actually looking up into it and seeing, or can look into the data, seeing who uploaded first and what has been tweaked in that template. As long as they're not like the previous GM where they, use their merits or like fake merits. I don't know what you should call it, but just using whatever and just purchasing everything from the shop, making it so unbalanced. And yeah, but I do hope that they are looking through the design shop and seeing if people are actually stealing or not with the designs. So what we have now, well, I guess I'll let you guys read the remaining part of the UGC. I do want to move on with the topic. So there are coming up some more changes. They are gonna provide about the fair fight. So there are people that are having 10% more increased damage with buffs. That we're gonna see even more. So I think this is something that updates every week, now that they're mentioning it. So we do have 10% increase in damage already, I believe, because it says this week's update will include, or maybe it's for the November, I don't know. But we are going to get 10% more increased damage in hard dungeons because of the fair fight. And then you will also see a little bit more damage increase because of the buffs and passives that has been tweaked around. And I believe they mentioned Thief and Priest is one of those classes that will buff themselves up, or for the party members, for example, Holy Symbol will have some tweaks. would assume. If not, it might be that piggy that increases more magic attack. 10 or 100k 53 issue, they're adding a new system to it. I know you can just read it over here, what they're supposed to do, but if the disconnection happens while loading through game character selection, they are gonna have a reconnect menu, so you don't have to restart the game. That's the only fix for now, I guess. If the disconnection happens in mini dungeons or mini games or dungeons, and then in loading into a new map or switching channels, you're gonna get that pop up. It still will screw you up in dungeons. You're gonna have to use, if you're being locked out, for example, you are gonna need to lower your health and use Red Daisy to kill yourself and then respawn inside the dungeon. But to showcase the thingy, it shows over here. Let's see if we can showcase it. It's a bit bad quality, but it will have a reconnect button, sort of, and you will reconnect to the game, as you can see. Really interesting system. So if you disconnect, you're gonna get 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5. As you can see already in the video, it's really poor with the FPS. It's like when you craft, it has some issues trying to load up the HUD. But yeah, you are gonna have this 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, etc. Then you're gonna have this exclamation mark loading, and then you can reconnect or try to attempt to reconnect instead of the game crashing on you. So for the other part, they're talking about mesosellers and bots. They're continuing to block and identify them. I feel like it's still an issue. We've seen way too many, and there's already people in the world chat, being tired of doing normal dungeons for some reason. Well, there are some people still stuck at normal dungeons. There's tons of bots. Tronics Bunker, that's the heaven for the bots. But they are mentioning we banned 30k accounts. I feel like they just added one extra zero into the blog. It feels like it's the same as the previous blog, but they just added additional numbers into it to add up. I mean, there are still going to be more people or more bots and such mesosellers spamming. I still have seen some of them in the same spot, and they're just sitting there, and we could need some more active GMs and such walking around and actually manually banning those players or bots. Dungeon limit, yes, they are mentioning it again. It's going to be in the next week when the Chaos Raid comes out on Friday. Well, one day after Chaos Raid, we are going to get the dungeon limit reset. This is going to be helpful for those that didn't reach plus 15 with their weapon. You are now going to have additional 30 runs on your main character to farm extra weapons and obviously get yourself up to plus 15. Or if you want to farm Canderous Pendant or Verkant, Balrog Wings, etc. Quality of life improvement, we are improving few functions, house size reduction, wardrobe swap, quick slot bars swapping, etc. 5 different weapon templates. I think if you follow their Twitter, they are showing off a lot of templates that's being shown for the UGC, which is nice. For example, Berserker doesn't have a square template, basically a square sword, but that's really nice. The house reduction, as you can see over here, it's a GIF or GIF, however you pronounce that. You can now reduce your size back to what you had before, like a small one, in case you felt like, I increased way too much. I'm probably gonna play around with this because it does make it a little bit more nicer, I guess, that you have a smaller sized house, so you don't have to run across the whole football field or whatever. But that's a very nice touch that they added the small reducing part. I kind of wish they did that already at the very beginning, but hey, they are reading people's reviews and feedbacks, so that's really nice. We are gonna have wardrobe swap. They also mentioned it in the Twitter before. They are gonna be able to switch between different cosmetics in case you feel like I wanna, wear this today, and then a few moments later you can switch out to your basic or your casual outfits, etc. So that's really nice as well for those that are into role playing, I guess, or just want to look different every time you're doing certain things. So that's really nice. And Thanksgiving is coming up soon. After Thanksgiving, we're always gonna know that this is gonna be December soon, which means Christmas is gonna come out as well after that. So be prepared for that. We're also gonna have Soulbinder coming up in December. So make sure to prepare to make a new character if you're interested in Soulbinder for that. But yeah, they are mentioning December teaser is gonna come up soon. So please look forward to that. Optimization, nothing special. They are still trying to make everything run smooth, especially for content or in the areas where you're being congested by a lot of players, for example. So something I would like to show as well. November is gonna have new style crate points. Style crate points is gonna have the same thing as the Halloween, but you are gonna have different outfits, obviously. Not a set, I would say. These things that you saw earlier, there's not really a big set that gives you an effect, but I think the biggest set is the Techno Kitty set, as you see here. Like it did mention like different sets. Yes, you can get the bubble bath set, etc. I think these are just the blue ones or green outfits, and I think the biggest one is the Techno Kitty. Obviously, it's because of that flying cat that you have in the background as a cape, for example. I think this will be more valuable rather than these other sets because it's a little bit more detailed, as you can see on the character. It has a futuristic look, but for me it's a no-no. I don't like style crates, I don't like loot boxes, but some people might like these unique items. Anyways, I'll be ending this video with the review for the producer blog State of the Game Week 4. Next video is going to be about the Chaos Raid, and I'll cover that up a little bit. We did have some people leaking a video, and there's a lot of Twitch streamers in Jolly Squad that has shared their commentary and trying to help the community, announcing and trying to look up on the content that's coming up on Thursday. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one.